Hi everyone, it's NonnaGrace, and today I'm going to talk about fishing. I am making my daily little video, and I was watching Carl and Don Homestead, and Carl was cooking some speckled trout. He was frying the speckled trout. And a few days ago I watched Dr. Fishing and Travel, and he was ice fishing, and it brought fishing story to my mind, which I don't have a very big fishing story. I could have a big fishing story, but then it would be a fishing story. But anyways, what I want to tell you is when I used to go fishing with my father used to like to fish a lot. He would go do his farm work in the morning, and then he would go fishing. And when he retired, he used to hurry up and do the farm work on 1 or 2 days, and then he would go fishing every morning, and his friend Joe used to call him on the phone, and they were funny to listen to. Yeah, no, okay, I'll meet you there. And it was like, that was the conversation, and it was really, really just kind of different than if you listen to my mother talk on the phone versus my father. Well, anyways, when we would go ice fishing, we used to bring this little pot-belly type stove, and the reason we brought it is it was cold out there out on the ice. We used to go out on Chautauqua Lake, which is in the Chautauqua County, which is in New York, and we used to bring this little stove out there, and it used to keep you warm. If your hands got cold, you could warm them on the stove. You'd not put them on the stove; you'd burn yourself, but you'd be close. Well, we would catch the fish through the hole of the ice that you had to make a hole in the ice, and when you catch the fish, we'd bring them up, and we'd sometimes use part of the fish as bait, and sometimes we would use his minnows that he had put away the summer before in the salt. And when we would cut the fish open, which sounds cruel, but we'd cut the fish open, and inside would be the fish eggs. And I always brought a frying pan and some salt, and I used to kind of wipe the fish eggs off a little bit, and I'd put them in the frying pan, salt them a little bit, and put a cover on, because when you fry fish eggs, they pop, and they could spatter all over. And so I would cook the fish eggs, and I would eat them right there out on the ice. One time I went out on the ice, and I forgot the salt. I had everything but the salt. Fish eggs don't taste so good without the salt. You really need the salt to give them the flavor. And also, about fishing, I remember the first time I went fishing, I was pretty young. I was probably, I don't know, I was little. I don't know how young I was. But my dad brought me to the jetty, which was in Dunkirk, New York. And there used to be little fish that would swim near there, and you just drop your line down in. I didn't have to cast it. I just would drop it down in by the jetty, and within seconds you'd get a nibble, and I'd pull it up, and I used to get so excited. And another Joe, guy that used to go with my dad, he must have thought I was just the cutest little thing, and he gave me this pin that I used to put on my coat, and it was a real pretty pin. It had little rhinestones around it, blue rhinestones, and it had the Blessed Mother, a little medal of the Blessed Mother in it. And I used to wear that on my coat. Now, when I was in another little fish story, but it's not really a fish story, but it has to do with a fishing pole. When I was in 4th grade, I had a ruptured appendix. And I was there for Christmas. And what I wanted for Christmas that year was a fishing pole where the reel actually thread the line on the reel, where it would have a little guide thing that would do it instead of my finger having to move the string back and forth on it. I wanted a fishing pole, I wanted a bride doll, and I wanted a flute. Now I got all 3 of those, but the flute was not quite what I wanted. I wanted a real flute. I didn't want a toy flute, but I got a flute, and I was very happy to get my fishing pole. That was the best thing, and it was a yellow fishing pole. And my bride doll, I used to keep her so nice until my youngest sister came along, and she chopped off all her hair, so she doesn't look as pretty as she used to. And then my grandchildren lost her shoes and her necklace and her bracelet. So now she's, and I don't have the bride dress, so this is a naked doll that I have now. And she has nothing left except the chopped off hair that's on her head. Well, I guess that's my video for today. I will check in again tomorrow. I hope everyone had a very good day, and I will see you then. So, bye-bye.